Word Builders, I'm Mrs. Morda. Today we are going to practice fluent reading by paying attention to the letters in a word. Our I can statement says, I can read accurately by paying attention to the letters in a word. In this activity, we are going to be using a word web to look at the letters in this word. Read this word with me using our loop and swoop. Interrupt. Interrupt. This word is interrupt. Interrupt means that somebody says or does something to make. Interrupt means that somebody says or does something to make the other person stop talking. We are going to take the word interrupt and we are going to change it by adding letters to the end of the word. First, let's take the word interrupt and add an S to the end. Interrupt first, then an S at the end of the word. This word is interrupts. Interrupts can be used in a sentence like this. Braden interrupts his teacher every day. Interrupts is a verb because it's an action. It's something that somebody does. Interrupts. Look how we can take the word interrupt and change it by adding a different ending to the word. Here we go. Interrupt. And this time we're going to add ing. Remember that we pronounce that ing. So the word is interrupting. Interrupting. For example, Braden keeps interrupting his teacher and his class. This word is also a verb because it tells an action that Braden is doing. Interrupting with ing at the end. It's important that we pay attention even to the endings of a word because it can change the entire word. Let's try a new one. Interrupt first, and this time we're going to add interrupt with an ed ending. In this word, the ed ending is pronounced id. Sometimes it's pronounced d by itself, but in this word it's pronounced id. So it sounds like this. Interrupted. Interrupted. This word is interrupted. It is also an action, and you could use it in a sentence like this. Braden interrupted his teacher every day. This is a verb because it tells an action that Braden does. Now we're going to take interrupt and we are going to add a prefix to the beginning and we're going to add a different part to the end too. Here we go. Let's start with the word interrupted. We'll add that ed ending just like before. And this time we're going to add the prefix un to the front. This word is uninterrupted. Uninterrupted. This word is not a verb. It's not an action. Instead, we call this an adjective because it describes something. For example, the class had uninterrupted work time when Braden was quiet. Uninterrupted describes the work time. So it's an adjective. Let's have one more word that we'll look at. Interrupt first. And now we're going to add the I-O-N ending. We pronounce this ending part with the T, and the T actually makes the sh sound in this part. So it will sound like this, shin. We pronounce this word interruption, interruption. This word is a noun because it tells A thing, it's the name of a thing. An interruption. For example, Braden had a hard time working when there was an interruption from one of his classmates. I hope that today you have noticed that when we take a word and add different endings or different prefixes at the beginning, it changes the entire word. It is so important to pay attention to the letters in a word while we're reading so we can be accurate readers. Great job today, readers. You really paid attention to all the letters in a word. Keep paying attention to the letters you see in a word until we meet next time.
This program is made possible in part by the Michigan Department of Education, the State of Michigan, and the W.K. Kellogg Foundation. Additional support by and by viewers like you. Thank you.